And then like everybody having to face the music, like now we're still hearing people like, I hate my kids, you know, like I can't make like I hate music now, you know, just stuff like that.
Oh, please tell me that's not the stage you've reached now. It's like, oh
No, no,
God,
no,
not more music, please,
no.
no. Hey guys, James Wilson Taylor here for Roxanne with another of our video calls. We are catching up with everybody while we're all stuck at home at the minute. And I'm delighted to say from Crown the Empire, Andy's on the line. How are you, man?
What's good? I'm hanging in there, man.
Good
Still
stuff.
here.
Glad to hear it. Yeah, that's how, still here. That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's how we're starting all of these. I have to ask. I hope you're okay. Are you staying safe? You staying well in this weird time we find ourselves in?
Yep. But yeah, doing good. Just I feel so crazy. I feel so crazy, but it feels like a necessary. It it feels like a gift, you know. Like everybody kind of got to take the time and decide what they wanted to do with it. And I think it's so rare that the whole world is like forced to put their money where their mouth is. Like, man, if only I had the time to like spend more time with my kids, or more time to finish like my, you know, these songs, or to start this new hobby or whatever it was. You know, everybody was handed this for at least a second. And then like everybody having to face the music, like now we're still hearing people like, I hate my kids, you know, like I can't make like I hate music now, you know, just stuff like that.
Oh, please tell me that's not the stage you've reached now. It's like, oh
No, no,
God,
no,
not more
no,
music, please,
no.
no.
No, I've decided to take up carpentry. Yeah.
New career. That's going to
Yeah.
be good. That'll work well. How is your lockdown looking, man? I guess that is a good starting point because I've chatted to so many people doing these, and everyone's kind of finding their own weird, different creative routines, doing whatever. Some people are like in the middle of writing albums and stuff and having to completely adapt. How are
Yeah.
you guys getting on just in terms of that creative space? What are you up to at the minute?
You know what? We kind of had to, again, just adapt. At first, everybody's suggestion in the band was like, what are we going to do? You know, maybe we're going to do, you know, maybe we should do like a live stream and like try and do like a charity thing. And I'm like, well, that's what everybody's going to, the whole planet's going to want to do exactly that thing, you know? And I think it's, it would be better to try and not follow the trend. Do you remember like when fidget spinners came out? And then it was like, all of a sudden, everybody on Warped Tour, every band ever had fidget spinners. It's just like, it was cool for like a brief moment, and then you were left with like 10,000 unwanted fidget spinners in boxes all across the planet, you know? I think
Right.
that chasing things because you see everybody do them, like the low-hanging fruit, like, yeah, you can do that, but I think having time to kind of audible into something different is what I wanted to do. And I think we did that hologram, that cool hologram, like an at-home performance, and we partnered with this company, this Jadu company. Palais did a hologram with them. I think they did something for Poppy and Pussy Riot as well. But it was a really cool idea to kind of get a T-scan and, you know, essentially try and push the boundaries for what we can do with home performances in the future. You know, I don't know. I'm sure everybody's been talking about it, but no tours until 2021. It's like,
No, of
so
course. That
I
is the
think
main
making,
question. Yeah, people adapting and finding new ways to do stuff because, like you say, yeah, when live shows are out, you've got to find new thing. And I'm glad you mentioned Jadu because I really wanted to bring that up because yeah, we I remember seeing the Palais one back in the day, and like you say, loads of artists been kind of getting involved with it. On a practical level, how does that work? Because it's super cool being able to do it on your phone, and it's like, hey, Andy's in my living room. That's crazy. When
yeah.
you're actually making it, what do they have you doing? How does it work to turn you into a hologram like that?
It was a gnarly experience because we'd done it. We had the concept because we talked about the record being, you know, very, you know, how people are digitally giving every part of themselves, every aspect of their lives is integrated into this thing. And I think the initial idea for our album cover was to have those scans and give the scans to the fans, let them do whatever they wanted. You know, I think that was kind of the fun thing, but it just didn't work out the way we wanted it to. I think the technology wasn't at the point, or maybe the guy we went to wasn't exactly on the same page, but meeting the Jadu guy, it was like a 9-day difference. Like he had this huge facility, and you know they did their best to do everything COVID safe. You know, we had to walk like in orbits around one another. You know, and there was like people on a video chat from home, like directing the people like what to fix and stuff. But it's like this room, 360 degrees of cameras, and there's like a circle drawn on the ground, and it's like this is where we've cut off so you can walk within here, and let's give this, let's give it a shot. Here's a couple of song ideas, and we just went for it. And I think it's 10 gigabytes of memory a second to record. And I was like, what do you have do you have a supercomputer? Is there a robot in the back? And they're like, come here, we'll show you. And it's it's its own room, and it's just fucking Matrix style computer machine. It's just loud humming. The cable is like the comically sized, like as big as my head cable.
Dude, this is the future. You're hitting the future right here. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, and this is what kind of came to my attention again, that I kind of lost touch with. And this is something that set Crown apart early on, was that back when we got started, MySpace and YouTube were the only platforms for video content. And, we were doing these webisodes we were putting out weekly, and it was partially why people got to know us on a personal level. And it didn't feel, I think shortly after, like once everybody's like, oh shit, this is huge, it became what it is now, which is its own, entity. But it felt really try hard past a certain point. It felt wrong, it made me feel bad about it. And it kind of turned us away from, pandering towards, or being something that we weren't. But now that you see these kinds of we were setting a foundation for things we didn't even know existed yet. The concept of Twitter, Instagram before the iPhone, it wasn't thought of, And I think Jadu is going to be the same thing. Like, who knows what we're going to be able to do in 2 years, let alone 5 years. Yeah, it's just taking, being one step ahead and trying to come up with something outside of the box that I think is what made Crown successful early on. And so getting involved with them is super fucking exciting.
Yeah, man, it's really, really cool. It was great to see you guys doing that, being a part of that for sure. And like you say, you guys are always trying out new things, and I think that's been clear kind of throughout the campaign. And you talked initially when the album came out and everything, you were taking risks. You're always looking to push things forward and push yourselves, which is really, really exciting to see when any band does that. Have that work ethic and go, we're going to keep pushing ourselves forward here. I guess I want to ask you a little bit about the album. It's the question I always ask everybody when we're a few months down the line, but I'm always interested. What do you feel like you guys have learned from Southern Sky? It's out there in the world. It's got the reactions from fans. How are you feeling about it now, a few months on?
I think it feels like the approach was so wrong. I think we were like traumatized from the stress of other releases and like all the drama involved, and it took the fun out of making music. We were like, there's a dedicated fan base. This is 10 years of work. And if you do something wrong, they'll fucking hate you for it. If your heart's not in it and if you're nervous, it's just like giving a speech or something. Like, people can hear the shakiness in your voice, and it makes them instantly be like, yo, fuck this guy. Like, he doesn't believe what he's saying. Why would I believe what he's saying? And it felt like we were like just approaching the process of making music wrong. We were just too worked up in like, how do we get this out there? How do we do this? When instead of, with this record, it took a lot less thought. It was just, everything came natural, and the fans loved, this is the most well-received, thing we put out ever, probably. But I think it's coming through. It shines through when you're legitimately having fun with what you're doing, and like, you're not overthinking parts, you're not destroying and remaking something, and you're just running in circles and never get anything done, which is what we tend to do. It became really convoluted. But I think with this record, we're like, oh damn, the songs that took the least amount of thought are the ones that are doing the best. It just goes to show that like it's all in the approach, it's all in the approach. And I think we know what the fans want. I think going into the next thing, it's gonna be even easier and even more exciting, and it lets us play with all the extra stuff when you realize fundamentally you've got everything you needed. It was like we kept trying to reinvent the wheel, with our record conceptually. We always did it with every album, but just like change something fundamental that people are like, this doesn't sound like your band. It doesn't sound like anything really. It's like, so switching it up on them is not the move. And I think it just became, it was just the product of us freaking ourselves out. But the second you just like let the people receive it as it was fucking awesome. It was great.
Yeah, and what a nice position to be in now, though, moving forward, because now that you have that fan connection, like you say, you know what the fans want now. You guys talk with each other. You know what works and what doesn't. You also know that if you want to take creative risks, you can go there, and you have that confidence to go there, which is really exciting as well. So I guess moving on to whatever does come next, whenever we hear that, you guys must be feeling pretty good right now. You guys must be feeling in a pretty confident position, right?
I feel great. You know, it feels like the ground is swelling, and you know, here's one of the things that going through COVID, like at home by myself, you know, kind of forced me to look at. You know, it's crazy how initially your brain will just latch onto the things that it's used to. You know, like a baby sucking his thumb. You know, where I was just stoned. I was just high for the whole first month of quarantine. I was like, this is gonna be easy, no problem. But then you can only like keep sucking on your thumb before you're like, wait, the drugs, like, this not working anymore, you know, like, this isn't, there has to be some sort of change in it. It kind of forces you to kind of look inward and be like, what is it about these things that I'm happy with? You know, like having a real ass assessment of yourself and having days and days to kind of review it. Like, I think it was like absolutely essential, you know?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's, again, I think you're not the first person to have said that, of just having that, especially in your line of work. This is the thing I think I've found, particularly with a lot of bands like yourself, who, you know, touring's your lifeblood, and you actually having some downtime, as much as it's come through this horrible, horrible thing, it is weirdly a gift, being able to actually have that time at home. And like you say, reflect on life, your career, whatever you want, because you never normally get that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I think, kind of realizing that it helped me take the weight off of myself. Like I called my mom actually about it. You know, she's like, "Are you okay?" You know, I don't know if she saw like my tweets or what, but it always seems like a sixth sense with my mom. So she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." You know, these are the things I kind of realized that I've been fucking up for myself. You know, and you know, I have every opportunity to do it. One of the things that really, I fully had a mental breakdown about this, and it was a bunch of things swelling at once. But one of the things I realized was I saw Post Malone do that Nirvana thing, where he's playing. It's so hard to get however many millions of people watched it, to sit down and watch like some deep cuts from Nirvana. Like, it wasn't, he could even play Smells Like Teen Spirit, you know, like he was playing all kinds of crazy shit. And seeing that firsthand, someone just be passionate about it. Like, he's not the best guitar player in the world. You know, there's virtuosos. We can see all that shit on the internet. He's not the best singer. He's not the best performer. It's just genuine excitement for what he's doing. You know, like, it doesn't go any deeper than that. And if anybody can be, like, there's no rules at this point. You know, like, anybody can be anything overnight. I think it's in the approach that people will naturally gravitate towards it. You know, none of those people, how many millions of people were like, play circles. Like, there's always like the elitist, you know, dudes are like, oh, it's fucking bubblegummy shit. They're like, damn, he not only, like, that was sick, and he also killed it. You know, and I think having that kind of perspective makes it seem, you know, people focus on the wrong things. People chase the wrong things. And I don't know, seeing it firsthand and being like, damn, like, he is me, you know, like a garage band. Like, what are my favorite songs? Everybody's gonna listen to me play them. You know, like, that's the dream.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're all on the same level now. That's been the really fascinating thing as well, and it's why it's great to see, whether it's Post Malone or whether it's anyone really doing stuff from home, even if it's just answering fan questions or even posting a photo, actually knowing that right now everybody in the world is in pretty similar situations when it comes to this kind of thing. And it puts it, like you say, you know, that's the most relatable thing Post Malone's probably done in years, you know, for fans or non-fans. That's absolutely crazy, because he's a fan of music and he's there performing. It's got to be pretty inspiring for someone like yourself to be able to see that, yeah, like you say, anything's possible. If you want to go off and do a cover performance in your garage tomorrow, you could. I mean, it's all there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's seeing that. And then I also recently moved into this crazy house in the hills. It was just like a gnarly situation where I got to move in, but seeing, like, living in the Hollywood Hills and being like, damn, this is like, it seems unattainable, you know, this is like what people strive to get to their whole lives, you know, to separate themselves from the rest of the world, you know, the rest of LA. And I look around, I'm like, this is it. Like, you imagine, like, I thought I'd be eating like caviar off of like a chick's ass, you know, like I'm on, you know, or I'm like on fire, or, you know, like Justin Bieber's like, I don't know, doing my dishes or something.
Every rock and roll stereotype in that sentence, man. I like that.
But you don't get to see what the top of the, you know, what the destination looks like. It's hard for you to kind of peek behind the curtain and see what's actually going on. And it's, again, it's so much closer than everybody thinks. It's like, it's right there, you know? And if we really put in the work and really have the passion, really, really believe that you can do it, I think it's possible. I think it's totally possible. And it really fucked with my perspective. Like, what am I doing? Why am I so...
This is fascinating though, because, you know, like we've chatted a few times over the years, and it's just really, this is the most fired up I've ever heard you for something, which is cool. It's really nice that even in this weird, you know, you've got to take the positives you can. I keep saying that to people. You've got to take the positives you can from this fucking weird time we find ourselves in. If it's meant that you have got a fire in your belly and you're aiming high for the next stuff, that's very good to hear, man. Is that how you feel? And there we go. That's the question. I've found it. I found the question on that. What is the aim? What is the aim from all this? You know, you're clearly an ambitious dude. You're finding some perspective from this. What do you want to do next? What do you want to do next with the band?
Oh, man, I don't know. I think I just have to get everybody rallied together. You know, everybody's scatterbrained. Everybody's dealing with this their own way. And I think they don't know. The rest of my band doesn't know where I'm at mentally. We haven't really like sat down and been like, hey, I got ideas. Like, trust me, you guys, I think I figured it out. You know, but I don't know. I think we can. I don't know. My perspective shifted, and I think we can expand this into something. You know, legacy is always what I've been striving for. You know, I would love at the bare minimum. This is what I want. I want one song to live on forever. That's my goal throughout. If I do this for 10 years, and I can come out with one household name song. You know, Paramore's Misery Business, or, you know, The Kill from 30 Seconds, or I Write Sins for Panic. What took them from, you know, respected scene band into at least one song that will never die ever. Like every emo night, you will hear those songs no matter what. That's what I want. But again, you know, 10 years ago, my biggest dream in the world was to get on Warped Tour, you know? So... who knows? Who knows what could happen? The possibilities are endless. I'm gonna be hanging out with Elon Musk next time we talk or something. I'm
See like, Elon in the back. Yeah, that'll be the shot.
First show in space. Yeah, I'm on the SpaceX rocket. Welcome.
I love that. Making those ambitions. First one was to get on Warped Tour. Now we're talking space shows. I like that. Yeah. You've got to keep up in the ante. That works well, man. I like
really
that.
All you can do. Yeah.
Andy, it's good to hear you're in a good place, man, and really excited to see what you guys love to the rest of the guys as well. You know, send all our love. I know it's been a weird time with all this kind of stuff. I'm glad you're all kind of doing safe and well at the minute. And
yeah, man.
Yeah, we'll catch up with you when you can eventually come back to the UK. We'd love to do shows and all that.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, I'll see you in 5 years.
See you when I see you, my man. All right.
Be good, man.